Hi everyone, Bernard here. Hope you're all staying safe and well. Welcome to the Citizen Channel. We look forward to the second leg of the round of 16 in the Champions League, isn't it? The home leg, but it's not at home, unfortunately. It's at the Puskas Arena again, so they probably could have had it as a one-off, couldn't they, and got it over with. But hey, not much money in that, is there, for the old UEFA? So perhaps, well, I suppose we get a share of it, don't we? So we can't complain too much. So welcome to this little preview of the second game against Borussia Monchengladbach. This will be showing on BT Sport 2. Well, our usual features, looking at our opponents, a little bit of the history boys, a starting 11, who might be dropped from the Fulham game, who might be rested, who might be given a second chance. I believe Pep's thinking this change, things working perfectly at the moment. So, hey, who am I to disagree, you know? Well, I do disagree sometimes, but hey, we'll go with the flow and see what happens there. We'll have the odds on the game, of course, with my Just for Fun bets. And other little things as well. Please, if you're new to this channel, some links on screen now for Facebook and Twitter. There's also a link if you check out. I have a film and TV channel as well. So as well as all this city stuff, if you look at that film and TV channel, there's movie reviews, film drama reviews, information vlogs, loads of stuff on there. So if you want to have a rest from football ever, you're interested in film and TV, like most of us are. I think most of us enjoy a good film or two. Please check that out as well. That'll be fantastic. I'm trying to get to 800 subscribers. If you can push that subscribe button by the end of March. It's going to be a close run thing, so if you can help us out with that, that'd be fantastic. If you're not already subbed, or any City supporting friends you've got, please point them in my direction. It's going to be a close thing, but let's try and get to 800, please. If you can help us out, that'd be fantastic. Right, there we go. Any comments? Also, please leave your comments. It's great. I mean, there's lots and lots of comments now. I've got some regular guys. I get new ones all the time. So anything to do with City, anything to do with this match, or just City in general, it doesn't matter. Just leave me a comment. That'd be fantastic. If you don't have time for a comment, you can just leave me a little thumbs up. That'd be absolutely wonderful. Right, here we go. The history boys. Yeah, last time, well, it wasn't long. That seems a long time ago, doesn't it? A fairly comfortable 2-0, wasn't it? So we do take that into the second leg. That's 2 away goals. It gets all a little bit confusing, doesn't it? Of course, a goal in each half was enough, wasn't it, from Bernardo? Fantastic header, and Jesus. And it perhaps should have been a little bit more comfortable. I mean, Pep was tearing his hair out, or if he had hair anyway, he was a little bit angry at times. The chances we did squander in that game. It should have been certainly perhaps more than 2-0. And of course, Cancelo and Bernardo were the stars of that game on the night. And of course, they very nearly got a goal back, didn't they, at the end? If you think of that error we made, fortunately we got away with it, or it could have been 2-1 and been a little bit closer than we'd hoped. But we didn't know then. We thought we were coming back to the Etihad then, didn't we, as well? But hey, there you go. More travelling for us. But yeah, UEFA has the way, doesn't it? Yeah, with the 8th meeting now between Borussia and Manchester City in UEFA competitions. Of course, as you know, the sides first met in the 1979 quarterfinals. I've talked about that before, and obviously there we waited 36 years, and then 2 came at once. So like buses, we waited 36 years, and we were eventually drawn against them in 2015 and 2016, weren't we? Overall, we've won 4 out of the 7 games up to now. 1-4, drawn 2 and lost 1, so that's not too shabby, is it? Yeah, last time at home, of course, it was that rearranged game, wasn't it, with the poor weather that was rearranged. An attendance at 32,000. I was there, of course, in that one with my lad. Sergio Aguero struck a second hat-trick of the season in that little group opener. And, of course, it was Pep's first group game in charge, so we sort of enjoyed that, didn't we? Substitute Kelechi Iheanacho, yeah, I think he's been doing well for Leicester now, isn't he? But he was on the score sheet as well that game. So how they've been doing since we last played, and well, it's been a bit of a nightmare, a little mini nightmare for them, to be honest with you. The manager, there's hints that he may get sacked, but he's moving in the summer anyway. It's one of these silly things in Germany where they sort of arrange to go to another team. He's already arranged to manage Borussia Dortmund for next season, but it's one of those funny situations. I mean, literally they played Borussia Dortmund a couple of weeks ago in the cup, but yeah, he might find himself sacked before he leaves in the summer, to be honest with the way it's going. I mean, since that defeat to City, they've lost 3-2 at Leipzig. They lost at home in the German Cup to the aforementioned Borussia Dortmund. They lost at home to Leverkusen. And on the Friday the 12th of March, the last game, they lost 3-1 away at Augsburg, despite dominating all of the stats. Yeah, if you look at the stats for the game, they were all over. A bit like City in the old days where we used to dominate and still got sort of sucker punched, if you like. So it's not great. That leaves them 10th at the moment. I think they were 8th, I think, last time we played them. They're now 10th in the Bundesliga, so in the bottom half of the table, because I think it's an 18-team league. A draw and 5 defeats from the last 6 league games, and obviously you had a cup game or 2 to that as well. It's not looking very good. Injury-wise, yeah, Marco Rose, if he's still there, by the time they play us, as I'm doing this tomorrow, will be unable to call upon the services of midfielder Christoph Kramer. He's the German international. Algerian left-back Rami Ben-Sebaini and young forward Torben Musels. But apart from that, I think he's got a pretty much full squad. So yeah, I mean, it could be interesting. I say, I don't think. I mean, will they sack him? It's unusual. Imagine that happening here. I mean, just seeing, obviously, we knew certain things were happening. We knew perhaps Pellegrini was perhaps on his way and stuff like this. But to actually know that they're leaving to manage the team in the same league, it just seems really very, very weird, and I think it's having an effect on the team, obviously, although, as I said, stats-wise, they've not been doing too bad. They've just not been able to put it in the net, and I think we saw a bit of that when we played them, didn't we, in that first game. Yeah, my thoughts on tomorrow. I mean, let's face it, 2-0 lead, which was almost 2-1, wasn't it? Is handy, isn't it? I mean, let's face it, it's gone from bad to worse for the Germans ever since that. But even their most recent defeat, those stats are still pretty good. So I don't think Pep will take anything for granted in this one. With some key players rested, of course, for that Fulham game. Obviously, quite an unusual team, I think Pep put out for that one. I do expect the likes of Foden and KDB to come back for this one. And of course, got an FA Cup game after that as well. Pep will play a stronger team on paper, I think, than the one that played Fulham, in theory, despite a 2-0 advantage. I mean, I might be totally wrong, that's my impression. I think he'll want to put this to bed, because at the end of the day, whoever gets, more or less, who gets that first goal at the end of the day, if we let one in, we're going to get a bit rickety, aren't we? And of course, it's never Pep's or City's intention to play out a dour 0-0, is it, and go through 2-0 on aggregate, which we probably could do these days with a more settled defence, if you like. But as I said, the first goal is going to be really important. I mean, it seems unlikely that an out-of-form Borussia Monchengladbach, with a manager, let's face it, on the edge, will drag themselves back into this. Although, as I say, their form has been awful as far as the scores are concerned, but they've not been playing that bad. So yeah, we have to show them a little bit of respect in this. I think they've shown us far too much in that first game, and I expect them to be a bit less respectful in this one, to be honest with you. But we do know at the end of the day, they just don't have the quality, really, do they, in that team to, in theory, worry City as long as Pep does play a strong team. But we'll never know, do we, what he's going to do. But they'll need some big slices of luck and City to sort of drop a level or two below to get back into this. I think obviously I'm looking for us to score at least 1 or 2 goals and comfortably go through. I mean, these are the sort of games, let's be honest about it, that Pep's the master at, isn't he? Where he doesn't have to overthink too much. He knows what he's playing. He knows the limitations of the team he's playing. So these are the sort of games where he doesn't perhaps overthink it. And as I say, with a 2-0 lead already, I don't think he will. I think he'll go strong. So my 11, here we go. This is interesting. Let me know your thoughts on what you think. Because I only got 6 right against Fulham. So who knows? If I get 7 or 8, I'll be quite happy with these. So I'm going to go. I mean, is he going to play Stefan? I would doubt it. I don't think for the Champions League he's going to play Stefan. So I'm going to stick with Ederson. And then he obviously, Walker. I think they'll give Walker will play. Stones, Laporte. I think Diaz will get a rest. Cancelo will play, I think, hopefully. Rodri, Gundogan. KDB, I think KDB and Foden are going to come back into it, obviously. Aguero and Mahrez. Yeah, Mahrez was champing at the bit, wasn't he, at Fulham to get on the pitch. And I think he's going to give Aguero another game, surely, to keep bedding him back in. I mean, if I was looking at the team against Fulham, yeah, there was a couple of, as I say, if you saw my scores, I didn't go any less than 7, although a couple of players perhaps didn't warrant a 7. I thought overall it was a good team performance, allowing for the fact that it was quite an unusual formation that we played. So I'm not going to drop anyone. I think they all deserve something anyway. So I'm certainly not going to drop anyone, but I will rest from Fulham's game. I'm going to rest. It's on Pep here, isn't it? I mean, I think Pep will rest Mendy, Jesus, Torres, Diaz, and Bernardo. So I think all them will get for a rest and perhaps reappear again for the Everton game. And I think a second chance is just one guy getting a second chance. I think, and that's obviously Aguero, isn't it? I think he'll get his. Say he did score right a penalty, but he was well taken and he had the confidence of doing it. The problem is that team I put out there's no Sterling again, so I do think champing at the bit a bit, Sterling might come into this, but I think he'd probably, if he did, would he replace Mahrez? Well, that's the thing. It's a funny one, and I don't want him to see him play in front of Foden as well, because Foden's not been used, has he, recently? So, yeah, Sterling's a question mark, I think, in that team. But my 11 anyway, as I say, Sterling's a big, perhaps, maybe. Edison, Walker, Stones, Laporte, Cancelo, Rodri, Gundogan, KDB, Foden, Aguero, and Mahrez. Let me know what you think about that anyway. And my score prediction, well, I'm going to go for just 2-0. Another 2-0, I think. But say we should have been at least 4 or 5 up in this game, let's be honest about it. But I will go 2-0. I think we'll keep a clean sheet as long as, he doesn't totally change. I mean, Garcia could play. You never know with Pep. He could end up with Garcia playing in this one, but I'll be a bit unhappy if he does. So yeah, I'll go 2-0. Let me know what you think the score will be as well. The match officials, we've got Eastern Europeans this time. We've got Sergei Karasev from Russia as the referee. His linos are Igor Demeshko and Maxim Gavrilin, both from Russia. The fourth official is from Belarus, so Alexei Kulbakov, and the VAR are both from Russia. So I say usually you get a different nationality for the VAR, don't you? You've got Vitaly Meshkov from Russia on the VAR, and assistant VAR guy is Sergei Ivanov from Russia as well. So we'll get some. The referee. I did look on Twitter. I thought it looked a little bit like my long lost brother. I don't know what you think, but there you go. I'm sure he'll be all right for us. I'm sure there's no problem there. Anyway, right, on to the odds. And I don't condone gambling, and please, if the fun stop. And know what these are just, if you like, pennies really. I mean, I might risk a couple of quid a point this week. As I say, I've got a little bit extra coming. I've got a tax rebate coming, so I might have a little flutter more than just £1 a point. So, but last time, just under a point profit last time. I got the under 3 cards and I got the over 3 goals. So that'll do me. That was last time. That was 3 goals and over. So that was okay for last time. So just under a point in profit. So that's not too bad. Looking at the betting, to win the cup, City is still the favourites. The bookies haven't seen anything in recent times to knock that on the head. So we're still 9-4 favourites to win the Champions League. So again, if you have doubts, you could probably get a good price on Lane as well. As you said, I did lay them last year and made a few quid out of that, but I've not been doing that this year. I did lay them for the league title when it was not quite as nailed on as it's looking now. But I've left the Champions League. So, but if you fancied that, if you think it's, I'm hoping it's our season. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping this is it. This is where we do it. Whether that be a good thing or a bad thing in COVID, I'm not too sure. But one way or the other, I'm hoping we'll do it. So I certainly wouldn't lay them. But 9-4 for City. Bayern Munich are second favourites. They're 3-1. PSG are 11-2. That's the best price on PSG. And Liverpool are 13-2. So there you go. I was speaking to a couple of Liverpool fans the other day, and they're quite confident that this is going to be their year again to win the Champions League yet again. So there you go. They're going to have to improve a little bit, aren't they? I think. The match odds: City are 1-4 on to win, 11-2 the draw, and 11-1 the best price for a Borussia Monchengladbach win. Both teams to score no is 8-11, and yes is 11-10. So that's sort of reflecting with the bookies what they think about the fact that City might keep a clean sheet, or it may just end as a drab 0-0 draw. You never know, do you? Correct scores, so my 2-0 prediction, that's the 11-2. So I've got a point on that. And I've also gone 1-0. I was nearly going to go 3-0, but I'll just go 1-0 and 2-0. So 1-0's 15-2. So I'll just have a point on that, because I think I think we'll probably play within ourselves. I don't think there'll be anything drastic. And I think if we do go one up, we could add a second, but I think we'll be happy with that, to be honest with you. Half-time, full-time, City is 8-11, and a draw in City's 3-1. So do you think it's... I think the draw in City's not a bad price, 3-1, to be honest with you. Anytime goal scorer, again, all the people like Aguero were quite close to evens and odds on. So just looks at a bit of value. KDB's 11-5, so better than 2-1. So I'll have a point on KDB who actually score a goal in this, because I'm hoping he will play. I'm fairly sure he will play after being rested against Fulham. Bernardo's 4-1 as well, so he scored against them last time, didn't he? And Mr. John Stones, who obviously likes to get a goal or two, doesn't he? I didn't bet on him obviously against Fulham, but we did give him a little mention as a possibility. But he's 11-1 again, so that's not a bad price if you fancy just something on that. But I'll stick with KDB at a point at 11-5, and I've gone also for the total goals, and I've gone under 3.5. So as long as it's 1-0, 2-1, 2-0, we'll be all right. I'm just going to point on 8-11 there, so under 3.5. If you fancied over 2.5, which is the other option if you like, so there's going to be at least 3 goals in the game. That's 8-15, so that's a bit limiting. So I think the under 3.5 is much better. Before we go, I just had a quick look on winning margin as well, and that's an interesting one. If you fancied that, to win by 1 goal or to win by 2 goals are both 3-1, so you could cover yourself, sort of Dutch them two, and still make a little bit of a profit, just a little bit of fun, as long as we win by either 1 goal or 2 goals. You can be in profit on those if you cover both options. I say I've not done that, but that's quite an interesting thing for you. So there you go. Let me know if you're having a flutter anyway, and what you're going to do, and what you fancy with this game. As I say, it's sort of an interesting one, isn't it? The We're Not Really Here show that features Nedim Anua and Kevin Horlock. So a little bit of Kevin Horlock. He followed me on Twitter the other day. Well done, Kevin. I hope you have a good time at the studio with Sel Spellman. I think that's how you pronounce it. Sel, is it? I don't think you pronounce it Kel. I'm fairly sure it's Sel, that young man. So there you go. I think the draw for the quarterfinals, we're not going to tempt fate, obviously, and think we're through yet, but I think they take place on the 19th of March, don't they? So that'll be quite interesting to see what happens there. And do they actually draw the semis at the same time? That's how they do it? I'm not too sure, but of course, if we can get in the hat. As I say, it's that first goal, isn't it? I mean, if Russia do get a goal, I mean, I wouldn't say we're going to collapse in a heap, but it will make it more interesting, certainly from a neutral point of view, if Borussia Monchengladbach get that first goal. But again, like anything, if it was 2-0 at half time, if you like, in a normal game, it's that next goal that really makes the difference, isn't it? And this is a classic one where I think this is why Pep was a little bit annoyed last time, because we perhaps could have had 3 or 4 goals, and we sort of missed a few little chances, didn't we? So if Sergio's back, hey, what about an hat-trick? What about another hat-trick from Sergio? I never looked up that. I don't know for the odds on that. That might be interesting, but I don't think so. Do you? I mean, a goal will do, never mind a hat-trick. But he's got previous, hasn't he? So there you go. Thanks for joining me, of course. I'll be back with a review of this game on Wednesday. It's Tuesday night, isn't it, the game? So I'll be back with a review of this on Wednesday. So please keep your eye out for that. Push that notification button if you want to find out about that. And also check out my recent Citizen Channel vlogs, including That Was the Week That Was, obviously, for a recent look at our last 2 games before the Fulham game. And of course, I've done a recent thing on Frank CARRODUS as well, as a City player from 1969 to 74. So a player in time look at Frank CARRODUS. So please keep your eye out for that. Anyway, thanks for joining me for this big match preview. Manchester City at home to Borussia Monchengladbach, but in Budapest. But hey, there you go. We can't have everything, can we? We can't be there either way. So does it really matter? Say, it's just the fact we've got to travel, isn't it? And then come back. Not too bad, is it? Tuesday to Saturday. Obviously, we got the FA Cup quarter-final then, haven't we? Everton, I think we've had one of them before in the past as well. That was a bit tasty from memory. 2 great games. Perhaps we'll talk about that when we have the preview of that game. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Whatever you're going to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. So join me here again on the Citizen Channel. Or perhaps have a flit across. Please have a look at my film and TV channel. All I ever ask of you is please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.